Woolamai Cup field of 8 assembling at the top of the straight. 1,708 metres. Many of these horses have already gained cup victories for their connections around the circuit, not only this season but in previous years. And these experienced gallopers are moving up pretty quickly. The outside couple of barriers just obscured from my view, so we'll wait for the light to be switched on as an indication that they're getting close. I can see the first three are in. Inside gate, I'm Leaving. Ran third in the race last year behind Born This Way. They meet again. Here's the starter, the cup field, pretty close now. Wait for it, Edgy in barrier number 2. I think they might be pretty close. And they're off. The cup field on their way. And it was a pretty good line out. All bar French Butterfly missed it by 2 to 3 lengths. The others came out in a respectable order with Wait For It looking for the lead. I'm Leaving holds an inside position on the track. Kadina Lane and Mr. Jomar are sliding forward. Last year's winner Born This Way is worse than midfield. Artie Sheila over racing back on the fence in the last division. Now being passed by French Butterfly, and Guadalcanal is facing the breeze as they head out of the straight. And it's Wait For It, the Druin Cup winner, who takes up the running, heading out towards the 1,200 metres by 2 lengths on I'm Leaving, and a length and a half to the veteran Kadina Lane. And then comes Mr. Jomar further length back, and they put 3 lengths on Born This Way. French Butterfly, Artie Sheila, she's tucked away on the fence, the track specialist, and Guadalcanal is relegated to the tail end of the field as they work down the back, and they're at a solid tempo here in search of the 800, and it's Stephanie Dawning with Wait For It, leading by 2.5 as she takes a mid-race breather with the gelding. 2.5 on in second, I'm Leaving, and then followed by Kadina Lane, Mr. Jomar, Born This Way about to be revved up. French Butterfly, Artie Sheila being ridden for a bit of luck, and Guadalcanal commences its run from the tail end of the field. 500 metres left to go on the cup, still Wait For It clear. 2 lengths, here's Kadina Lane coming out of the pack. I'm Leaving just holding its posse, third the fence. Born This Way travels well, looking for back-to-back cup wins that comes into the race along the fence. And then Artie Sheila, and trying to get clear now, pulled to the centre of the track, and she's starting to rev up from Mr. Jomar, and Guadalcanal and French Butterfly dropped off. Wait For It comes into the straight, still leading from Born This Way, shouldering into the clear. Kadina Lane, Artie Sheila a length and a half away, but Born This Way, could it be it again? It takes the front from Wait For It, then comes in behind Kadina Lane, but Born This Way, back-to-back cup wins. Born This Way by 2, Wait For It second, Kadina Lane 2.5 lengths away third, Artie Sheila was fourth, then Guadalcanal, Mr. Jomar, I'm Leaving stopped quickly, and French Butterfly clocked in last. Well, Born This Way has made it 2 Woolamai Cups on end after taking out the 2013 edition. And by memory, just like last year, it was given a peach of a ride by Angela Bence, who was able to get the right path through. You could see the way that she was travelling up to the home corner. The mare was definitely going to be in the finish. It all depended on the horses around her, whether they would still keep on fighting. Wait For It tried hard. Kadina Lane made its move and just couldn't continue prior to the bend. They've fought out the minor placings, but Born This Way careering away. And this mare now makes it 4 wins from 44 starts. Numbers about to come through. Three, 1, 5, 4. 3, 1, 5, 4 the placings. And Born This Way. Hailing from Sale in the eastern part of Gippsland, has made the trip down to Woolamai today. A horse that's been here only once before, and that was in this race last year. And been racing competitively at its home track in some restricted fillies and mares races recently with placings at the start of the year. And she's come into the race as if she could have run another lap. And she was a clear-cut victor coming down to the line. Wait For It a tremendous on-pace performance by the runner-up. And at 10 years of age, Kadena Lane still keeps running great races and has racked up another placing. It's 13th, third placing. Artie Sheila got back. There's a few horses in front of it coming up to the bend that Artie Sheila just had to get around, and as a consequence wasn't able to get into the race any earlier. But considering she was racing at restricted level this day last year, she has acquitted herself at this next stage, and I'm sure if she backs up in the Cup next year round, she'll go close with the general improvement she's shown. But 3, 1, 5 and 4 as runners come back, and here is the winner. Put your hands together. They've done it again. Born This Way in the connections of this mare by Desert Sun out of the Maroof mare Marix for GB Cole, GL Pratt, Mrs. LM Pratt, Mrs. JT Cole, CG Murray and Mrs. M Murray. Thank you. Many of the staying races on the picnic circuit in the central part of the state, with Alexandra holding a number, and of course Sister Olive with, or Yay with their famous Sister Olive 3,000 metre race. So light is on. And we're set. Race that will take 2.5 minutes. And they're off. That was a pretty level start. Monty Felco jumped with his head in the air, and he's been restrained from the outside gate under Adam Bodie. He's quite happy to take a sit just off Kabushka. Perhaps he wants to sit further back in the field, but the horse is wrestling him, and it's Kabushka passing the 800 metre mark at this first occasion, leading by a half on Monty Felco. 2 lengths away to Shanghai Rooster on the fence, and then Charlie up on the outside, now starting to free stride 3 deep. The grey Top's End, and 2 lengths away to In Costa Rica, who's the trailer as they head towards the course proper. So Kabushka, an uncontested lead for this last start winner, and leads by a length and a half. Monty Felco now settling a lot better with his head on his chest, and Charlie races 3 wide. Just behind them is Shanghai Rooster, and then comes Top's End, and In Costa Rica is last as they come around the home bend. Charlie just over racing a bit, which is preventing him from slotting in behind Monty Felco as they come into the straight, but now he does, and he gets some cover. So they come down the straight with 1 circuit left to go. An important fact, because there have been occasions which have gone down in racing folklore where the jockeys have misjudged the laps, but it doesn't look like that will be the case here. No, they're all on the ball. 1 circuit left to go, and it is Kabushka leading by 3/4 of a length. Monty Felco up in second. Now in Costa Rica's the first to make the move, a very early move, as they head via the 1,200 metre mark, and Matthew Corbacero is off on his mount, getting him right into the action. He's third now, as we have a new leader as well. Monty Felco goes to the front at the 1,000, so picking them up again, it's Monty Felco 2 lengths. Very shortly in Costa Rica will work to second outside of Kabushka, and then comes Shanghai Rooster. Next is Charlie. He's off the bit and starting to struggle, and 2.5 lengths away Top's End. Just left flat-footed when the sprint went on, and it's Monty Felco at the 800 now breaking clear. Adam Bodie going for home, the premier rider on the picnic circuit in control by a length and a half, but Shanghai Rooster's got other thoughts. He's bridging the gap now. He's down to a length, and then Kabushka, and Costa Rica is running in 4th at the 500 metres, and they're well clear of Top's End, and forget about Charlie down to the bend. It's a good race coming up as they start to swing. Monty Felco, Bodie's throwing everything at him, and Shanghai Rooster looks to be travelling better as Angela Benz looms up on the outside, and now Shanghai Rooster takes the front with 300 left to go. Kabushka comes away from his pocket. Monty Felco just batting away, and here's In Costa Rica to the centre of the track. As they come into the straight though, they're chasing Shanghai Rooster, who's got a 3-length margin up his sleeve. Kabushka, Monty Felco, Top's End on fresh legs is coming on, and then In Costa Rica down the outside. They're all out on their feet, but Shanghai Rooster's got a break, and it looks like a winning one as well. Shanghai Rooster home and host, and he keeps his unbeaten record at Woolamai intact by 2.5 lengths. Kabushka and Top's End third. Monty Felco couldn't do any more from about the 500 metres. In Costa Rica second last, and Charlie dropped out to run along last. Well, she's having a great season, Angela Benz, and No more so than at this venue. It was, I think, 2 meetings ago where she rode half the card. And she's been able to combine with Reg Manning and Shanghai Rooster. Horse that was able to win over a shorter trip here 4 starts ago. And now 2 for 2 here at the Woolamai track. Shanghai Rooster first. Inside gate gave it the advantage of the run of the race in that box seat trail. Angela was able to get off that position, that pocket, with plenty of time to build up her momentum. Just when it looked like at about the 800 metres and Monty Falco might be hard to run down, he didn't find a great deal when they worked their way down the side. And Shanghai Rooster has gone home the winner from Kubuska, who's done well after being headed in the initial part of the race, and tops in the 8. So 1, 4, 8 and 2. 1, 4, 8 and 2. So Shanghai Rooster now makes it win number 3 from his 18-start career. Both he and the runner-up were the youngest horses in the race at 5 years of age, so obviously a bit of youth on their side helping them out. And it is Reg Manning and Angela Bence with Shanghai Rooster, and well done for the connections. R. Manning, Ms. S. Devine, also C. Dean, P. Morrison, J. Collins, N. Pooley, Mrs. H. Andrews, M. Andrews and Mrs. L. Manning. Reg Manning and Angela Bence combining, beating the 4 Kubuska for Patrick Caboche and also Matthew Brown, and tops in third the 8 for Andrew Taylor and Stephanie Dorning. Thank you. Now they've run a time of 2:35.77, 2:35.77. That is around 4 seconds outside the record held by Logical Lad, and margins 2.5 lengths by a half length, 2.5 by a half. Well, completing a victory lap, so to speak. Here's Shanghai Rooster coming back. Put your hands together for the winner of our first race today. Well done to Reg Manning and Angela Bence. 1, 4, 8 and 2 the numbers, 2:35.77 the time, 2.5 lengths by a half, and a scales report shortly on the opener. This one.